Michael here to explain to you what's going on with the latest in the weather community out there. We have some severe weather that is breaking out in the southeastern U.S., bringing a few thunderstorms here and there, and a few special weather statements and flash flood around central Mississippi, Alabama, and areas of Georgia. The rain continues on. We look at the eastern U.S. with the GFS model, and as you can see, rain, go away, and come again another day. Rain continues to go across the south into tomorrow. That's when it ends. And then we have that quick hitting snow that the GFS is showing right there for March 1st on your Sunday. It moves out, and then we have the big winter storm that we're talking about here. And yes, there is an ice threat, and I want to kind of give you an example. And I really want you to look down here into North Carolina. We've talked about it for a while. It's the cold air damming situation. Cold air coming down from the Appalachian Mountains, and it's creating an ice storm. It's creating an ice storm. Look at how the ice is moving down on your Tuesday, but then look, cold air is getting fed in, and you're having ice here in areas of the Carolinas, Greenville, Spartanburg areas. I mean, close to Columbia, close to Augusta, close to Charleston. I mean, that's what the GFS is showing. It showed this for a few runs, and hey, who knows? But we have that, and that continues to move on. So we have this big storm here. GFS showing heavy snow for West Virginia into the Delmarva. A little bit of mixing sleetish here, but then ice down there. So that ice threat is there. An ice threat could be there far south. It just depends on how the temperatures really are. Can those temperatures really like reflect on a certain point? We'll see how that goes. Now, if we go to the European model here, just get that there. European model showing those thunderstorms moving away. But then you have that snow in the upstate of New York, that snow in the Pennsylvania area. And then look, the European not showing us cold. It thinks that this storm system is far more north. It's delivering not as much snow either. So it's all about the cold air placement. And we're really looking to see how these temperatures are going to match up. The way these temperatures are will really affect how who will get snow, who will get rain, who could potentially get ice out of this. And I mean, this is just going to be a crazy one, especially for the beginning of March. This is going to be a crazy winter storm. And when we look at the Canadian model, and let's see what the Canadian model brings us. The Canadian model showing that rain, a little bit of that snow mix, actually. The Canadian suggesting a little bit of a snow mix, probably right now. I'm not sure if that's happening at the moment. It could be happening, it could be not. But sort of that snow mix, snow going down right here in the upstate of New York, Pennsylvania, same areas again, then has this big snowstorm, and then it crashes down near North Carolina like the European did. So it's all about the cold air placement, and some factors are playing in here because, and I think this is how this is working, but you really have this cold air damming right here into it as well. Do you see how you have that snow and it's sort of just like and it's rain all around? There's like a dip down the mountains. It is helping that cold air move on down into that area. So ice possible on the back end with the Canadian model, and that is what it is showing out. Let's take a closer look at this. Actually, we're gonna go into the southeastern U.S. because I know this is very interesting. I know this has popped up on the models over and over a few times now for an ice storm for the south is something to watch out for. Not saying it's going to happen. It is definitely something we want to watch out for. Friday, remember, like I talked about those showers, right here is when it gets interesting. Right here, you have your snow already happening Monday morning, right? You move this, and what do we have here? Cold air damming. Now look at it. Ice for areas of Asheville. Shoot, that's close to Charlotte. That's practically Charlotte right there with ice. Greensboro, Winston-Salem. It moves on up, but then you think it's done. But then that cold air moisture is trying to feed back into what seems to be just a crazy scenario. And it doesn't seem like we have that reflectivity. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if that was that the earlier model that I was showing? That's odd. The radar is not reflecting. Oh, that seems to be the Wednesday radar. Okay, I think that was the Wednesday radar that we saw there with that GFS model. But that is still something we want to watch because as you look in today, we did trend north, but we still have that ice risk for North Carolina. And I mean, even snow is possible with that GFS, that newest GFS model now. So, what you just saw, okay, that's interesting. But with the new GFS model, the 18Z run, this is what we're looking at right now for today. Ice going across and the possibility that cold air jamming, like I said, do you see how you have these blues and reds and you know how you have between the red and the blue is really the 32-degree mark. But then you have upper areas of the atmosphere. How can I explain this? So you have something that is, and I could be wrong, but I think this is how this works. See, when you have these ice storm situations, it's falling as rain. It looks like rain. The ground is cold though, so whatever on contact it hits is ice. And I think a lot of people have a little bit of a misconception with this. An ice storm is not necessarily sleet. Sleet is those sleet pellets that you get, in which it's sort of, I think, snowing in the air. There's a warm layer where there's water. It turns in, and then it tries to turn back into snow because there's a cold area. So there's a warm layer in the middle. It tries to turn back into cold air. It tries to turn back into snow, but it doesn't catch up in time. So then you get those sleet pellets that move through. But that's different. When an ice storm, I believe you're having the snow, you get the warm layer, but the cold air is right at the surface. So it's rain that's falling, but then it's freezing rain because the rain drops and freezes on contact, causing trees and power lines and things like that to freeze up. So this is an ice threat with the GFS here. Ice threat for the GFS model that's shown there with the latest 18Z run. And I mean it's just it right into to like I'm trying to see. Right into just that this area is the area to watch out for right there. That area, it's going to flip back and forth. Cold temperatures are possible, cold temperatures are not possible. I mean, cold temperatures are possible. We don't know which temperatures will it be though. That's what's raises the eyebrow there. We're going to go ahead and move this to the northeast, and since we have the actual GFS because I think we had that old GFS there. And okay, that's interesting. We're probably gonna have to pull out the whole entire eastern US for this to get a general area. That storm system moves through. Oh, so it's not snow for the Delmar. So everything that was at the beginning has changed a bit, and this is what I'm talking about, that these things are not. Oh, so the GFS, this is new news to me, guys. So the GFS brings down snow, but then it starts to bring moisture, travels it up. So it's really okay. What's really happening here is you have a winter storm here, but then it like holds on to that ice there. You have the mixing here, and then it sort of collides, moves up the northeast, makes an ice threat. So the snow is still possible for areas of the Delmarva. Could they get missed though? Snow is still possible for those areas that I did call out earlier though. So cold air damming is going to be a factor here. North Carolina is really going to watch for this cold air damming because it's not just going to be higher elevation with this, what the GFS is showing. It's going to be the lower elevations too. And it's going to be well into the Carolinas. I mean, getting close to Fayetteville with ice there. Now, like I said with the European model, things things are different with the European model. Not as cold, less cold, in fact, and it's just moving across. As we track our severe weather, severe thunderstorm there for southern Tennessee and north central Mississippi there. And the rain's going to continue throughout the night. It's going to be a few thunderstorms here and there, a few severe storms. And then eventually, we're going to have that ability for some rain showers to end through the night. Then those rain showers will then fade away, bringing us to actually a nice day in the South tomorrow. So tomorrow will be a nice day for some folks. Some rain will be lingering, but for some folks, it'll be a nice breezy day for the South. Highs in the upper 60s and lows, I think, will be in the lower 50s. So that's going to be an interesting day. May even be the higher 50s for some folks as your low. So going to be looking at some good conditions. We got a lot to figure out here with this next winter storm. Could we have the merging of two different storm systems? Because that's what seems to be the possible. A winter storm that slides across the snowmaker for the mid-Atlantic, the eastern U.S., and, I mean, possibly the South now. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Be blessed, stay safe, and have a good one out there.